What if I were to tell you there is a surefire way to put people back to work right now? To put people back to work tomorrow? What if I were to tell you that this surefire job creator is something that has been embraced even by Republicans going back decades? What if I were to tell you that over the last 3 years, we have been doing the exact opposite of this tested, proven thing that helps end recessions? I got a graph for you tonight, but it's an unusual kind of graph. It's a mystery graph. You're going to see what I mean here. In 1981, shortly after Ronald Reagan was sworn in as president, he faced an awful recession, the worst since the Great Depression, in fact. And one of the things that Reagan did as president to help get people back to work after that recession is that he made this blue line right here go up. That blue line went up, and so did jobs. In 1990, halfway through George H.W. Bush's first term, again, the country's economy hit the skids. Part of the reason the 1990 recession didn't sink us totally, it's that red line right there. That red line, it went right up. 01, George W. Bush is president. The country is rocked by the bursting of the tech bubble and by 9/11. Again, the economy heads into recession. And again, the thing that helps end that recession is that yellow line right there, which goes up. So here's a mystery. What did all of those Republican presidents do to help end the recessions that they faced? What did they all increase as president during those recessions? What do those lines represent? Government jobs. Government employment grew under all those Republican presidents. Not only did we not lay off public workers, we hired more of them, a lot more. And that helped prevent bad recessions from turning into horrible ones. So what's happened to government employment in this recession? It's gone in the exact opposite direction. It has gone down. We've been suffering through a recession that's been far worse than any recession in modern history. And one of the things we know the government can do to keep people in jobs is to give them jobs. That's the one thing we haven't been doing. You know, you've been told the whole problem right now, the big thing holding back this economic recovery, is that President Obama just keeps growing the size of government. That's what Republicans keep saying, right? That's the problem. The government's giant tentacles just rip through this great country of ours and strangle private enterprise. You know that, right? You know it's kind of wrong, right? Government spending has gone up under Obama. Much has been temporary help to the newly unemployed workers and their families to afford food, housing, education, and health care. But government employment has gone down under Obama, and not because he's wanted it to. The entire political and media establishment in this country have had their collective hair on fire over the last 3 days over 6 words uttered by President Obama at the White House on Friday. But it's the 43 words that follow those 6 that are really, really important to the economy right now and that have gotten totally lost.
The private sector is doing fine. Where we're seeing weaknesses in our economy have to do with state and local government. Oftentimes, cuts initiated by governors or mayors who are not getting the kind of help that they have in the past from the federal government.
As Republicans keep pointing out, and as Obama agreed later in that day, the private sector is not doing fine. But it is adding jobs. You know what's doing terribly, though? You know what's really doing badly? The public sector. And the problem, as President Obama was trying to point out there before he got eaten up by the news cycle, is that the green line in this graph is going in the wrong direction. Instead of doing what we've done successfully as a country in the last 3 recessions before this one, instead of saving or even creating government jobs as a means of maintaining employment and demand in this country, instead of doing that, we've just let those jobs go away. We've put more of those people out of work, making the economy worse, leaving more unemployed people to fight for every open job, to sign up for unemployment insurance, to stop spending money in their local communities. Right now, the unemployment rate in this country is at 8.2%. Since Barack Obama was elected, the public sector has lost about 600,000 jobs. If you put those jobs back, if we hadn't lost 1 job, if we'd stayed neutral at 0, the unemployment rate would be down to 7.8% right now. Not great, but better. But what if we did more than that? At this point in George W. Bush's administration, public sector employment had grown by 3.7%. That'd be about 800,000 jobs today. If we had done that to help fight off this recession, if we had followed the Bush formula, then we'd have 1.4 million jobs more, and the unemployment rate would have fallen to 7.3%. If everything else had stayed the same. When the government employs somebody, it is a real job. A teacher is employed, a police worker is employed, a park ranger is employed. That person gets a check. They spend that money in their local grocery store or on their kids. They contribute to the economy. And yet these jobs were part of the past 3 Republican recoveries. Now that a Democrat is in the White House, well, here's Mitt Romney.
He wants another stimulus. He wants to hire more government workers. He says we need more firemen, more policemen, more teachers. Did he not get the message of Wisconsin? The American people did. It's time for us to cut back on government and help the American people.
Democrats have wanted to give state and local governments money to hire more teachers and policemen and park rangers. Mitt Romney is right about that. Republicans have blocked them. As you heard Mitt Romney say, Republicans don't believe in hiring more government workers. They don't believe in stimulus. They believe it's time to cut back on government, as he put it.